Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you guys are doing great. So we've got another day. Today is Friday of all days, which we were expecting some economic data to come out today, which we did get. It was overall favorable for markets, in my humble opinion. However, markets disagree, and that's okay. Not really. I don't know. We're the same level we kind of left off of yesterday. We did get some volatility, but wasn't enough to push us a lot higher as I would have liked, which is fine. We'll get to it all. We'll be talking about what to expect in the upcoming week. It's going to be a big week next week, so get ready for that. In terms of Supreme Court tariff ruling, in terms of the Clarity Act and all this mumbo jumbo. We will also be talking about more developments in Iran, of course. We'll be giving an extensive look into Greenland. I say extensive, but it's probably just going to be a few slides. That's fine. And we will also talk about a new angle, a new body cam footage that was released of the ICE incident in Minneapolis. The lady, Renee Good, who got shot by that ICE agent. Well, we've got a new angle. New angle just dropped. So we will be analyzing that footage today. There is something on my keyboard. It's like crumbs or something. No, it's like something flakes. I don't know. Okay, apart from that, yes, I'm standing up today. We're getting ready for it. We mean business when we do this. So, Bitcoin's current price is $90,693. Great. By the way, I got an email from BitUnix, maybe for a partnership. I don't know. Maybe it's a scam. Can't wait to get scammed. I'll give you guys an update if I find anything useful on it. Maybe BitUnix is watching this. I do like BitUnix, by the way. Not being even paid to say this yet, but still, I do like BitUnix. They've treated me very well in the past, especially with helping to recover from the October 10 crash. Sure, they did have issues with the ADL, auto deleveraging system, which was part of the reason why they managed to compensate some of the losses that happened on October 10. Huge aid, I will agree with that. Even though the rest of it kind of got lost, not lost, but I lost money in those positions. After October 10, whatever. We are where we are, and we wouldn't be here without the help of BitUnix, so shout out to them. I've also given them extensive praise after October 10th incident, after I was able to recover some of the funds. Not all, only like half of it, if that. So overall good. I'm happy with them, and I don't know. Maybe it's a scam. Can't wait. So we'll see. Anyways, so the week is over. Don't expect too much more volatility. I'm hoping for a Sunday pump overall, even if that means we open it with the CME gap. When is CME getting rid of... When are we getting rid of CME gaps? Let's see. CME is introducing 24/7 trading cryptocurrency futures in early 2026, which would effectively eliminate this weekend CME gap in those specific markets like crypto. That's not good enough. What is early 2026? Give me a date. All right, dude. We shall see. It's coming soon eventually, like in early 2026. We'll get that eventually. But for the time being, we'll suffer the last bits of what the CME gap ever has to offer, if we even do have to deal with it this weekend. We might. So we're still keeping our uptrend overall for Bitcoin for a lot of the altcoins, which is good. It's only Zcash that is not keeping its uptrend. Are we still dropping? We are still dropping. Should have shorted. Oh well. What do? We go max short here? I don't know. The protocol is still active and people do still believe in Zcash. I'm out of it though. I'm no longer going to be trading Zcash, so this is my last analysis that I will ever draw for you guys. Perpetual downtrend to 0. There you go. Enjoy. I will go ahead and remove Zcash out of my favorites. Last price we're seeing it at is 400. I started looking at it at 400. Saw it rise to 700, and well, here we are again. The whole dev team has resigned. Don't worry, guys. They're opening Cash Z now. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that good? I'm sure it'll do great. Totally. I'm gonna probably stick with the Monero if I even want to trade any privacy related coins. I would go for Monero, and we do have it on this exchange. My issue with Monero in the past was that it was not listed on any of these exchanges, and that kind of made me a little angry. Look, contrast to what Zcash has been doing, Monero has been on the rise already. Since the beginning of the year, I don't know, its annual return so far 9%, at its peak 13%. It's taking advantage of the fact that Zcash is internally collapsing, right? Collapsing from the inside. And we've got a nice uptrend going on for it. Very, very solid. Albeit we do not have enough, a lot of history. It's only been out here since November 10. I think that's good enough. I'm obviously not going to be analyzing it in larger time frames like the weekly chart. I'm just simply going to stick with whatever we have in terms of the 4-hour chart. So I could trade in futures. If we're long, I mean, if it's an uptrend, we will go long. If it's short, if it's a great. If it's a downtrend, we will go short. That's what I'm trying to say. So it doesn't matter the overall perspective, although you should pay attention to it because it can help you identify important levels. I unfortunately do not have that, but I can look at other charts on TradingView from any different provider that should give me that same amount of relevant information. XMR USD, you don't even have to go that far. Come on, let me type. XMR USD. On Kraken, sure. How much historical data do we have? Way more than plenty. Since 2014. This is what we're at right now. You're trying to buy up here? What are you, crazy? No, but this is great though. Look at that weekly chart in an uptrend. Very, very strong. I don't know, I'm kind of scared. Do we go long here? I could in futures, right? Did we just... Is this all-time high? No, it's not. May 2021, we hit an all-time high of 517.60. I'm going to go ahead and like write some of these levels down because they could serve of importance in the future whenever we do have to manage these numbers. What is it again? 517.60. Is that actually? Yeah. 517.60. This is your all-time high level. I will note that. And go in middle center. No, middle center. Why is this not in the middle? Oh, it's because I put an enter. Really? It's that sensitive? Gosh. Okay. On a very solid rise for Monero. I do like what I'm seeing. I think I'm happy with this pick. We'll stick with Monero for now. Buy Zcash. Not buy Zcash. I'm saying goodbye Zcash. I'm not telling you to go buy it. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Did we even talk about Bitcoin here? I'm still keeping the uptrend as long as we are able to maintain 89, 90,000. I use that area as accumulation, which I did put my money where my mouth is. So I am currently long on Bitcoin. It was making a good solid amount at its peak today. But it then retraced back to negative return. And then, you know, we're back to slightly positive from where my average entry price is right now. But I'm still expecting a rise overall nonetheless, despite the fact that we're getting a lot of interesting stuff happening next week. And potentially war with Iran. I don't know what's going on over there. What if there's any updates from the Pentagon? Who knows? These guys like to act in secret overnight on a weekend when every market is closed and it's only crypto available to suffer. We've seen it extensive and multiple times, so wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't put it past them. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. Moving on. Ethereum 3090 is the current price. Still even now is at a decent area of potential accumulation if you do want to go long. I'm already plenty long. If anything, I would like to go short on something to kind of hedge, but I don't know. So far, I was able to predict the drop over here, and I'm assuming a rise should start happening by next week. Of course, we're going to need some of that volatility, and we're not going to see that during the weekend. So whatever rise you're seeing over here, discard that. I think we're going to be, you know, lateralizing / decaying for the duration of the weekend. If you do want to go long, I see good entries on Bitcoin and Ethereum, not financial advice, and of course Aptos as well. Still holding strong. My position that I entered yesterday, it was really close to hitting stop loss, but I put it in a tactical area, at 176. We dropped to a low today of 176.72 with Aptos. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but just bear with me. I do still expect a rise for Aptos. Obviously not tomorrow or the day after. It's going to have to be sometime next week. And I don't expect it to rise too much. I'm being conservative with it, a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio. I know that's conservative. And no higher than $2, of course. So 194 is where I'm expecting a take profit on. Aptos should give me a decent return. Crypto Squid, welcome, sir. Moving on from that, Solana. It's kind of in a range-bound zone, right? No higher than 143, no lower than 134, right? Am I right? 132, sure, whatever. Around those numbers, right? I really wanted Solana to drop a little lower, anything below 130, so I could start reaccumulating again. Now that we do indeed have a confirmation of an uptrend, we didn't have that before, so that's why I refused to enter, although there were early signs on some other movers, some other coins, some early movers, so I didn't really want to risk it yet. After we got confirmation of a breakout of the downtrend, we're officially in an uptrend with Solana. I want to start entering and accumulating at appropriate prices. I see anything below 130 as an appropriate entry for Solana, although if we do obviously drop lower than 126, it would invalidate the uptrend. That's no longer good, but we're going to need something catastrophic for Solana to drop at least 7% in a day, and then I don't know how much lower it will go, 10, 11%, before we reach another potential support area. But by then, of course, I will obviously not even be there. Either I get hit with a stop loss, or I don't know, depending on how fast the drop is. If it's a gradual drop, obviously I'll be entering with a stop loss. My stop loss will get triggered. Or if it's just a rapid drop and we immediately like flip the trend bearish, like from this minute to the next, obviously like I won't even be there to buy it and I wouldn't do anything. There would be no action. So that's it for Solana. Sui, $1.80. Literally the exact same price as Aptos, 181, 180. They're about the same. Which one moves faster at these prices? Aptos. And I know I kind of gave you guys that same comparison between Sui and XRP, for example, both of them being worth $2 a couple months ago. Sui has shown a lot of weakness, but that's just the overall altcoins showing weakness. When it comes to rising, right now you call this a rise, it's just the beginning of something. I'll admit that, but it's not truly like anything special. No big alt season, no huge moves or nothing like that. It's a good start, like I said, but when we do start seeing the actual markets move, like Bitcoin dominance drop and altcoins start making great returns, Sui will outpace whatever XRP is at, 220 something maybe? Not even that, $2.09. It's not that far off. And Sui can absolutely make a move like that to $2.09 from here. It's only like a, come on, I hate this. 16% rise. We can do that in one day. And maybe XRP will also go up 5% in one day. Sure. But Sui on a second great green day, it will continue rising that much, a lot higher, a lot faster, because of the difference in market cap, of course. You put $1 billion in XRP, it'll only go up a cent. You do $1 billion in Sui, it'll go up more than that, 10 cents, I don't know. You do it in Aptos, it's, let's say, 20 cents, something crazy, right? So these are the perspective differences you gotta notice between these. The only difference, of course, is the inflationary nature of Sui and Aptos. You don't want to hold them like too long term, right? If you're planning on doing it like 5+ years, I don't know, then you would prefer something like XRP. Even still, I wouldn't want XRP. I'd just stick with Bitcoin or Ethereum, or maybe even Solana. Like, I have more trust in Solana than I do with XRP. But whatever. This is me just trashing XRP. Sorry about that if you're a holder, but yeah. Hyperliquid. Okay, we're entering great areas for entry, potentially. I'm going to go back on what I said here. I do like it. I'm going to wait for oversold. I'm going to wait for oversold on RSI. We're pretty close. We're at 33. So anything at... I was saying 2450 in the past, right? Was it this or was it... I think it was Chainlink. Chainlink I was saying 1250. Never mind. I'm mixing up my numbers. Back to Hyperliquid, sorry. So 24.54 is the current price. I'd expect no lower, of course, than 23.74. Anything at or near like 24 flat, that's where I'd prefer a good entry on Hyperliquid. Anything below 24, we'll just say. Yeah, I'm being a little tight with the zone, but this area is what I would prefer. The best possible entry for Hyperliquid. As long as obviously we're able to maintain these levels. And I still think even now, Hyperliquid at $24, that's a steal. This thing is supposed to be worth $50. That's a guaranteed 2x. Not really guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. But you get the point, right? Oddly down 4% today compared to the rest of the market. Why is that? I bet you my bottom dollar it's for no apparent reason. Let's go. Hyperliquid. Okay, Hyperliquid. Come on, load. Why are we down? Bearish technical setup, sure. No, that's not true. Wait, what did they say? A bear flag pattern on a 12-hour charts. Nobody uses the 12-hour charts. Hate to break that to you. Sure, whatever. Whale selling and token unlocks. Okay, token unlocks I could get behind. A whale closed a $16 million hype long position to shift it to Ethereum. And monthly team unlocks are roughly $200 million worth, which do add sell pressure. Although, what is the market cap? 8 billion? 200 million? It might cost something, but it's not too much. Whale exits reduce liquidity and signal fading confidence. Hey man, you're trash my treasure. Let's do it. I'm buying Hyperliquid soon, not now. And overall altcoin weakness, sure. So it's just whale activity and token unlocks. Do we know the token unlock schedule for this? And from what I'm aware, they should be doing buybacks either way. So it kind of offsets. Not all of it is in circulation though. That's a little concerning. Still has a max supply. Yeah, for trading is still good. We're in an uptrend with Hyperliquid. It was a slow mover, so I think, you know, next move pretty much guaranteed to do something great, if not better than the rest of the markets. I would expect to target at maybe around 30, so I don't know how ambitious I'm going to be with this one, but we'll see. And just for reference, I want to put this here. Am I really going to do this? A 1-to-7 risk-reward ratio. Obviously, I'm not going to do exactly this, but this is what I would hope in an ideal scenario, something like this. So we'll see what happens. Thank you. Moving on. Chainlink. Down 1%, holding this pivot level. Price is $13.13. I was hoping for a drop to near $12.50, right? A little higher than that, $12.60 something, I don't know. If this does happen over the weekend, then yes, Chainlink would also be another potential good entry. Although I don't know for how long we could sustain a good momentum upward before meeting this downtrend line. That comes from basically all-time high? Yes, it does. Not all-time high. Our 2025 high in August. Our October high, October 6th. Imagine that. Chainlink was at a very higher point at 27 on the 22nd of August of last year. And October 6th, this is the date that Bitcoin made its new all-time high. Chainlink has been not making all-time high. Well, a higher high, just to sort of speak, right? It only rose to 23 as opposed to 27 as where it was in August. Whatever. This is still one of the major downtrend lines that we're going to have to deal with Chainlink. Once we do, though, there's no downtrend line on Chainlink, and it's up forever from here. Hopefully. So we shall see. Maybe even still, if you're expecting that kind of a move on Chainlink, like something like this eventually to happen, doesn't matter if you're buying at 14, 13, or 12, you're buying at a good price. And if you're expecting to sell at around 20 something, to give this how much of a return is this? 60, 90, 100, 130% return. Hypothetically, just saying. But this is more for like spot accumulation, obviously. This thing can go to trash and go to zero, and you would lose everything. Although I don't think Chainlink ever will do that. great Oracle play and everybody uses it. Even the US government is using it to release economic data, which we just got today. It's just utility, right? Nothing major going on there, but still good overall. I like it. Moving on to Bitensor. Didn't get the drop I wanted to, sub 250, whatever. It did peak at 300, which we reviewed yesterday. Current price is 277. Yeah, not much is going on with Bitensor, but I do want to potentially accumulate some between 240 to 250. That's what I'm eyeing for now. Obviously, huge resistance at 300 is what's required to break out of this. Do we have downtrends on this thing? Absolutely. I just have not gotten around drawing any. We have this enormous downtrend line coming from December 2024, November 2025, and lower. Although this downtrend line that I think I might have drawn from before, that's already gone. So we should have a good rise for Tau. Yeah, Tau is also one of my favorites, I'll agree. Potential of like 60-70% rise. No laughing at 6-7 jokes in 2026. That we could experience before, of course, meeting our creator, this downtrend line. So that's what to expect with Bitensor. Of course, a breakout of 300 is required, but we do have a good start so far. Uptrend line is technically there, so we've got a good potential on Bitensor. I like what I'm seeing here, and I can't wait to accumulate if the price just does what I want, but nothing ever goes my way. I don't think this is the uptrend line we're going to experience, although that is what we are currently seeing. This is more like it, in my opinion. I like that. Good. Moving on. We talked about Aptos. I guess we're analyzing Monero every day from now on. Current price is 455. Like I said, we were really close to all-time highs. 517 is that all-time high, which is where we have resistance 4. Resistance 3 is looking at this peak that we had on the 20th of December at 500, basically. Also psychological resistance that I should note. Let me write in coordinates. 500. Resistance for Monero. Ignore whatever levels you're seeing here currently. Focus more on where the uptrend invalidates, which appears to be 414. If you paid attention to it in the past, you would have gone long over here, and you would have been making a decent return by now, of course. Maybe the momentum is dying. I don't know. It depends on where the rest of the markets go. This is a privacy-focused coin, so it does, I don't know. It kind of tends to do its own thing. We saw that with Zcash. Zcash was on a huge rise upward all throughout October, November. Meanwhile, the rest of the market was, they already peaked 6th of October, and they got Omega liquidated on the 10th, right? And then continued their drop downward. Meanwhile, privacy coins were just having narrative of the month, right? They were doing great. So, just so you know, they tend to do their own thing. And Monero is trusted. At least by our favorite criminals, John McAfee. But that's it. Great. Let's move on to the news. Okay. So, we got... Right, I completely forgot about this. The non-farm payroll data just came out today. So, we were expecting 66,000 jobs to be added. We previously had 56,000 jobs added. What we actually got was 50,000 jobs when we were expecting 66,000. So, it's less than expected, meaning that labor market, bad, right? Which means more odds for a rate cut. Isn't there like this thing, this trueflation metric? What do you call it? True? I never looked this up, by the way. Inflation metric. Trueflation metric. That basically measures... Do I have to pay for this or what? Trueflation on X. Just give me the numbers. What is the inflation in the United States? Independent macroeconomic signals provider and indexer. I have no idea what I'm reading. Here we go. This is from today. US CPI inflation 1.90% and PCE inflation at 2.04%. This is kind of in line with our targets at a 2% inflation. So inflation seems to be under control, right? And labor market is weakening still. Some people blame it on, oh, it's December, people were on holidays. Obviously, we're not going to be adding that many jobs and all that. Sure, you make up an excuse every time, but whatever. It should give more room for rate cut odds. Have the odds increased is now the question. I don't remember. We can still review what they were in the past. I enabled dark theme, so no more flashbang warning, but the chart is still bright white and it looks ugly, so it might still hurt your eyes. Well, okay, well, just further reinforced the fact that we will not be getting a rate cut in January, however that makes sense. What are the actual numbers here? We also got Canada, by the way, unemployment rate, rising, on the rise, higher than expectations. Hey, I'm no longer contributing to that, so take the L. No, I'm kidding, that's toxic, sorry. Non-farm payrolls we just saw, and unemployment rate for the United States. It was previously at 4.5%, it's now at 4.4%. So unemployment rate is dropping, and we beat expectations in that sense. It came in less than expectations, right? In a good way for the actual US economy. There is more people that are employed. I have to like do this factoring in my brain, like two negatives make a positive kind of deal, whatever. Yeah, that's what's been going on. Yesterday, the odds were at 88% for no rate cut. Now it's 95% no rate cut. So we're just not getting a rate cut. Fine. And it seems like the odds are staying that way for even longer than expected, which is probably why we didn't get a big rise in the markets today. Nonetheless, we are still expecting 2 rate cuts, one in June now, and the other one in potentially September, with 66 to 33% odds. The one in June is like a 99% chance we will get a rate cut. So we're waiting for Powell to leave still before we start seeing any good rate cuts. I don't know, maybe Kevin will join and we'll get a lot more rate cuts, hopefully. Do you guys care about weekly hours? Okay, I mean, that's literally the same numbers. Who cares about that? So that's what's been going on. How's that new job going? It's going good. I'm so far just doing training, so I'm not really doing much. I do know a majority of what is being taught, but the way they do their work, it's for collection, right? It's different. Their method of collecting is different. The systems obviously are different. I gotta learn new softwares and all that. But the concept is all the same. I have my own tactics that I feel like I could apply to obviously be better. Then, okay, I'm just gonna stop bragging. I'm just trying to, you know, give it my best, right? So they're saying I should start, you know, getting on calls by 2 weeks time. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted. But so far, so good. I like it. It's right up my alley. Okay, what else has been going on in this godforsaken space rock? Clips leak through Starlink despite Iran blackout. So thanks to Elon Musk, Iranians now have free Starlink access, free internet all across the country. Even though the Iranian regime shut down the internet, shut down their servers, cut cell phone lines and all that. So I also gave my comment on, is this really allowed? Like, the government is putting a rule that nobody's allowed to use the internet, which is a stupid rule, I'll agree. And then you have this American entrepreneur just step in and be like, haha, free internet for everyone. Screw you, Iranian regime. And you're like, okay. It's like the Mike Wazowski meme, you know? You're just staring into the camera lens. Yeah. Even with Iran's full internet shutdown, new video from Shiraz is still getting out thanks to Starlink. Dash cams show empty highways and tense streets at night, with headlights cutting through the dark and buildings glowing in the distance. I'm sure some of this is also fires, or maybe it's just terrible lighting, I don't know. Iranian state TV has been warning that anyone who's protesting in the streets will be shot. Okay, what a threat, first of all. And second of all, if they do get shot, which they have been getting shot, by the way, I've seen footage, whether I liked it or not. Yeah, there's graphic footage out there of people actually, protesters actually being shot by, what do you even call this? The IRGC? Sure. This is just you're begging for Trump to step in, because Trump said, if you do anything to these protesters, we're going to step into their defense, right? And it's just going to make it worse for Iran. As bad as it is, it seems like a regime change in there is inevitable at this point. I don't know specifically how I feel about it. Obviously, if it's, I don't know, people want to be liberated. That's what the people like. So, hey, go for it. Fight for your freedom, right? I don't know. That sounds like terrorism. What else we got? Iranian protesters have captured nearly captured Iran's second largest city, Mashhad. The regime's security forces have retreated to a small number of government buildings where they remain hiding. They're literally just hiding. They can't do anything at this point. It's pretty much over. Have you guys seen this trend, by the way? These Iranian women are smoking a cigarette while burning a picture of the Ayatollah Khamenei. They want him gone. It does seem to be like the women are some of the most oppressed there, because from what I understand, you have to dress in burqa, is that what you call it? The full black dress. Well, now these women are like, no, we want our freedom back. So they're, dressing like normal women and burning pictures of the Ayatollah while smoking cigarettes is now this new trend that's going on around over there. And these women are getting famous from that. Specifically this one. I've seen her all over the place. This is like album cover material. It's pretty cool. I like the pictures. What else we got? Ayatollah giving his response to all this. He gave a speech saying, last night in Tehran, a group of vandals came and destroyed a building that belonged to their own country in order to please the President of the United States. If he is capable, he should first manage his own country. So a message to Trump is like, worry about yourself, don't get involved. On Donald Trump, he says, his hands are stained with the blood of more than 1,000 Iranians. In the 12-day war that happened last year, more than 1,000 of our compatriots were killed. Admittedly, I don't think it was civilians. I hope not. It seemed to only have been military targets and the nuclear scientists, nuclear facilities that were bombed by those B-2 stealth bombers last year. Beyond commanders, scientists, and senior figures, ordinary civilians were also martyred. Well, there you go. I just contradicted myself. Okay, sure. Civilians were also martyred. He's basically pointing out to the civilians, guys, look, this president of the United States that you guys are supporting and you are begging him to come and free you from this country, he is the one that is bombing you, okay? It's totally not us who have shot and killed 35 of our protesters so far. I don't know. This is 1,000 compared to 35. Life is life. Depending on... The numbers are irrelevant. If you kill someone, they're dead. That's so stupid of me to say. How do I say it? It's sad, obviously, to see people die, but... I don't know. It's not justifiable to say that guy killed 1,000, but we also killed 35 so far. At least that's what we know of. I'm sure they've done lots of other more public executions and other atrocities that we do not know of. But yeah, still, people are dying, and that's got to stop, ultimately. This man said, I gave the order, I commanded the war. So that is, Donald Trump has confessed that his hands are stained with the blood of Iranians. When he says, I support the Iranian people, even an inexperienced, inattentive, thoughtless fool, there are those who believe him, accept it, and then act accordingly in their words and deeds. Let everyone know, the Islamic Republic was established on the blood of several 100,000 upright people, and it will not retreat or compromise in the face of vandals. Dog that barks don't bite. What is that the saying? Whatever. That person who sits there in arrogance and pride from there passes judgment on the entire world. He too should know that usually the tyrants and arrogant powers of the world, such as Pharaoh, Nimrod, Reza Khan, and Pahlavi Reza, I don't know who those people are. I know Nimrod and Pharaoh. Which Pharaoh though? And others like him, when they were at the height of their arrogance is when they were overthrown. He too, so Trump, will also be overthrown. I think it's a Uno reverse card situation. I think it's no, you. You are being too arrogant, Khamenei, and you will be overthrown. It's looking like it. What's going to overthrow Trump at this point? He's already focusing on invading Greenland, which we're going to talk about. Not really invading. He's going to buy them out. The people do not tolerate mercenaries of foreigners. Whoever you may be, if you have become a mercenary of foreigners, if you have worked for a foreign power, the people reject you. The Islamic system also rejects you. Wow, so powerful. Is there anything the comments say that is special? Good. No. All right. So that's been going on. Let's move on to our 2026 George Floydis woman. So the family speaks out after the ICE shooting that happened in Minneapolis with Renee Good. The ex-brother-in-law of Renee Good isn't sugarcoating anything. So even the family agrees that she did something stupid and, well, what did you expect kind of deal. After she was shot while interfering with an ICE operation, he said exactly what many are thinking. He said, "She had no reason to be there. It had nothing to do with her. She shouldn't have been in the way. She had nothing to do with the ICE agents or immigration. She should have minded her own business." Whether people like it or not, this is what happens when you insert yourself into an active law enforcement operation, which I agree with. ICE agents were just doing their job. She wasn't supposed to be involved, and her own family is saying it out loud. Was it really worth it? Whatever, man. So here's the big news for today. We've got new body cam footage. I will be going through it frame by frame. New POV footage released of the Minneapolis ICE agents that shot and killed the woman who tried to run him over with her vehicle. He was directly in front of the car as she floored it, and you can hear the engine rev up. The agent then discharged his firearm. Clear cut, case closed, self-defense right here. A lot of people are agreeing with this now that we got this perspective of the video. Yes, it was self-defense. It literally looked like she was about to run him over. The more video is released, the more obvious it is that the left lied and is wrong. I stand with ICE. Is what the user says, not what I say. I don't care about ICE, so that's your problem. So here the guy is. I'll just play the video. Talking to the lady. She isn't really backing up yet. She's just going back here. The guy's telling her, hey, get out of the car, get out of the car. He's filming her with his phone. Films the license plate, sure, whatever. Should I show this? Whatever. This is the wife of woman and also filming her. Encouraging this behavior, by the way. And then the other pickup truck that we see in the original video pulls up with the guy stepping out. This is the original angle that we saw where the guy is like trying to open the door. Like he reaches his hand in there. Okay, this is where the incident happens, okay? So the other ICE agent reaches his hand in here. And then this agent, he's over here. You're seeing the car reverse like this. The wheels turn and are at this point directed at the officer. She's saying, yeah, go. What did she say? Go, baby, go, or something like that. You then see this happen. It looks like you're about to get ran over by a 1,000-pound Honda. And the guy pulls out the gun, takes the shots, and she rolls away. And you already know the other perspective of the footage. Here it is. She said, drive, baby, drive, into the ICE agent. And you can clearly see that she is, I think another angle pointed out that she's basically looking directly at the guy. Eye contact before accelerating. Okay, let me go forward. Looking at the guy and accelerating before like pushing into him. Like this looks like an actual attempted attack. Something like that, you know? So, I don't know. You make your own conclusions. I conclude that this was self-defense. It does look like it. And she's dumb for obviously being there in the first place. She doesn't even live there. Her license plate is from... where was it from? Some other state. Oh, now the video is just not going to load. Thank you, internet. Love it. Here we go. License plate. Yes, we're doxing her. Missouri. That's what it was. I was about to say Minnesota, but I'm like, no, this happened in Minnesota, and she's not from here. Okay. So, like, what are you doing? Basically, even the ex-brother-in-law agrees, like, she did something stupid. You shouldn't have been there. Nonetheless, she gets a $1 million GoFundMe page for her wife and son. Dude, it's so weird. Okay, anyway. Yeah, here's another, like, It seemed like originally from this angle, the other angles, the original videos that we got, it's like he just pushed the guy to the side. But looking at the cell phone footage, it literally looks like you're about to get ran over, like a POV perspective. So, and it's weird that he was filming it on a cell phone. Doesn't he also have like actual body cam footage? It's still close enough to body cam, like it's literally POV of what you're seeing. So I don't know. Draw your own conclusions. What was I talking about here? Oh yeah, GoFundMe. Hey, if this incident ever happens to me, don't wait until I die to give me $1 million. Give it to me while I'm alive, right? And then I'll dump it all into Bitcoin or something. No, I'm kidding, obviously. They knew what they were doing and paid the price. It's sad, but if you F around and find out, literally that. Literally that. I agree with you. So, as much as I hate to say it, she did have it coming, and it's hard to feel sympathy for something like that, but at the end of the day, it is a human life lost. Sure. A lot of them are lost every day, but I mean, to go out like that, this absolutely could have been avoided by you just minding your own damn business and taking your kid to school or something. I don't know. What do moms do on an average? When did this happen? Tuesday? Wednesday? Okay, moving on. Moving on to drug cartels. Trump says that the United States will still be conducting land strikes against the cartels. I already covered the news about without congressional approval, I don't think they're going to be able to do much, at least not in Venezuela. But when it comes to international seas, I think we're still going to do it. Trump said that he will be starting to hit land with regards to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. Will we bomb Mexico now? Is that what we're saying? It's very, very sad to watch and see what's happened to that country. But the cartels are running and they're killing 300,000 people in our country every single year. Which is true. Mexico is one of the bigger places where the cartel criminal drug activity is, and same with Colombia. Speaking of Colombia, Trump had a phone call with Gustavo Petro, president of Colombia, which we've talked about, and they said that they were looking forward to a meeting soon. We now know when this meeting is going to happen. Trump said he's looking forward to meeting with Gustavo Petro, the president of Colombia, in the White House during the first week of February. So that's, yeah, obviously next month. I'm sure it will work out very well for Colombia and the USA, but cocaine and other drugs must be stopped from coming into the United States. Okay, so what do we get from this? Originally, Trump was calling this guy, what did he say? He called him, like, not a mentally stable man, and he's next when it came to being captured. What if this is all a plan? What if Trump is like, hey, yeah, sure, come to the United States. It saves us the military action of having to go into your country at 3 a.m., go into your house and arrest you and bring you over here and extradite you. And then I don't know, what do we even do with Colombia? It's weird. We're also going to get a visit from Maria Corina Machado. Trump says that he will meet with her next week. Next week we're getting a meeting with her. And also with the current vice president at Venezuela that was under Maduro. She will also be meeting with Trump, I think. What's her name? Vice President of Venezuela. Delcy Rodriguez. So it's now we're talking about who is going to be the next leader of Venezuela. Trump does not like Maria Corina Machado because, I don't know, they say it's because of the Nobel Peace Prize nomination thing, how it got stolen from Trump and given to this Maria Corina Machado, who allegedly was supposed to be the rightful winner of the elections last year in Venezuela. Or 2 years ago, it would have been in 2024, I think, because even Biden was talking about it. So, or when were the Venezuelan presidential elections? Come on, just tell me the date. 2024, yeah, I was right. What was I even going with this? So it's either this lady, Delcy Rodriguez, or Maria Corina Machado, who is going to be the new leader of Venezuela. So far, right now, it is the United States. Although she's kind of stepped up. It seems like she is trying to be more cooperative. I don't know if we would trust her. Acting president of Venezuela currently, Delcy Rodriguez. What do we think of her? Vice president since 2018. Several positions during Hugo Chavez and Nicolas Maduro. We're really going to trust this lady? Dude, can we just get someone else? Like, someone completely new. Please. Will this lady visit Trump? She's requested authorization to travel to Washington next Tuesday to begin a round of political what? Am I going to get a bunch of ads and sign up to a newsletter? A round of political talks that would include meetings at the White House. So next Tuesday is when we could expect this lady to come to the United States, if that is going to happen. So a lot of meetings set up, coming soon. Next week, that lady, Delcy Rodriguez, and Maria Corina Machado. I don't know which point next week it says, but that's also going to happen. When will Maria Corina Machado visit Trump? Yes. Next week. Thanks for answering that question. Give me a specific date, dude. This is the AI that's going to take over your job one day, by the way. All right. He said he said this on Thursday that they will be getting a visit. It just says next week. Okay, so we don't really know when. It's a 16% chance that Trump endorses this lady as the leader of Venezuela, so her odds are not that high. Okay. Moving on. This is funny. Venezuelans who fled to America, they're now sending Maduro prison mail. You can send Maduro a letter because he's in jail, and he's going to have to read it and open it and read it, and what's he going to do? He's in jail. He can't do anything there. What are you going to do, just stare at the wall? You're going to read some of the letters that you're getting sent by people. People are literally sending letters like this with a laughing cat. Feliz año te desea a los venezolanos. Una carta de mensajes anónimos para Nicolás Maduro Moros, que ahora está en Nueva York. Just a laughing cat. And Merry Christmas. No, Happy New Year, sorry, from Venezuelans. Sucks to be you. Great. That's pretty funny. Moving on. Greenland. Trump is considering paying Greenlanders up to $100,000 per person to leave Denmark and join the United States. Reuters reports. Okay, I think I might have talked about this, but the reason I'm bringing it up again is because what are our other options? They have a rule of, like, KOS, right? Kill on sight. If they see a foreign military in their region, they're gonna attack you, and then they'll ask questions later, right? That was the policy that we got from Denmark. We also know that France and some other irrelevant country in Europe will also be arming or getting military backup ready in the event that the United States does decide to carry out military action against Greenland. I don't think that is the method that we're going to do. It seems like it's going to be more of an economic pressure to get these guys to join the United States, basically. Trump talked about in a meeting today, saying, it's nothing against the people of Denmark. I'm a fan of Denmark. I'm sure this is just him sweet-talking them. The fact that they had a boat land there 500 years ago, it doesn't mean that they own the land. Does it? I mean, I feel like it does, right? Because finders keepers, losers weepers. So obviously, we did the same thing to America, right? When Europeans came to America, it's like, yep, we got a boat here, 250 plus. No, it was obviously 500 years ago as well, I think. When did we join America? Dude, I don't know. When did America... Whatever. We're about to have the 250th year anniversary, but that's after, you know, Constitution and the Founding Fathers and all this other stuff. When did this first settler arise? Christopher Columbus. When did Christopher Columbus discover America? 1492. Yeah, I think that's 500 years plus. So yeah, same deal, right? Anyways, he says that we will be doing something with Greenland, the nice way or the more difficult way. Nice way, I'm assuming, is money. Difficult way is going to be military action. It's gotta be, right? What other way are we gonna do? Either that or we do this. And this is pretty funny. It's not true, by the way, but it's cool to think about this. MAGA is saying that Baron Trump should marry Princess Isabella of Denmark so that Greenland would be given to the US as a dowry. Hey man, I ship it. This is great. They should actually do this. How old is she? I don't even know her age. Princess Isabella of Denmark. Oh my gosh. What do we think? Oh, she's 18. She just turned 18. Okay, phew, we're safe. What do we think? Here, it's literally here. A pitch to marry Baron Trump and the Princess of Denmark goes viral. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Hey, man, if that's you, go for it. I approve. You have my stamp of approval. We'll see what happens. But either way, in the easy way or the hard way, if Denmark does get taken over by the United States, this is going to be your new map. By the way, it does look really cool. After the Americans acquire Greenland, Canada would be next to join the Union. It has to be. What is this big splotch of land over here inside of the United States? Just take over Canada as well while you're at it, right? And then you'll have the whole North American continent, with the exception of Mexico. But that's another issue. I'm sure we're gonna bomb their cartels and invade them or something. This will be done for US national security reasons. Trump will do this using economic force, as he's already explained. There will be no military invasion. This is the Euro America 250. Okay, pal. Don't speak for us all. Yeah, literally, this is what the world is going to look like now. So funny. And this is, like, what do you do in this situation? If you're Canada, which is me right now, and you get invaded, what do you even do? You're done. There's absolutely nothing to do here. A 24-hour operation. But it's not going to be good for the Americans. We got too many liberals over here. It's just you're gonna ruin your politics. You'll get Democrats elected for the next 250 more years of your existence. Moving on. Trump orders the US government to buy $200 billion in mortgage bonds to drive mortgage rates down. We're bringing back the American dream, Trump says. He posted this on Truth Social, saying that Biden ignored the housing market and instead was immersed with high crime, open borders, runaway inflation, and the Afghanistan disaster, and a military that he left in chaos and confusion. Everything was broken, but I, as President of the United States, have already fixed it. Now I am giving special attention to the housing market. Because I chose not to sell Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac in my first term, I have no idea what that is. A truly great decision. And against the advice of the experts, it is now worth many times that amount, an absolute fortune, and has $200 billion in cash. Because of this, I am instructing my representatives to buy $200 billion in mortgage bonds. This will drive mortgage rates down, monthly payments down, and make the cost of owning a home more affordable. It is one of my many steps in restoring affordability, something that the Biden administration absolutely destroyed. There is the key word again, affordability. We are bringing back the American dream, la 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 la. Great. What's the guy's name? Dan Plute? Something Plute? Ben Plute? What was his name? The current housing guy. It's Polt. It's not Plute, is it? Polt? There we go. Polt. That's it. What is his actual name? This is the U.S. Director of Federal Housing. Oh, he did comment on it. We are on it, Mr. President. I was about to say, like, I haven't heard anything come out from this guy yet about this comment on Trump. Literally that exact post being pinned on the profile. Complete coincidence, by the way, and I don't know why I remember this guy's name. Okay, cool. So he is approving of this. And keep in mind, this guy is also in favor of using crypto for collateral against housing, which is a good thing. Crypto rises, it auto-pays the house. Easy money. On the other hand, in Toronto, our lovely city, our lovely mayor, the lovely Olivia Chow, proposes a lovely 2.2% property tax increase for the lovely Toronto residents as part of the lovely 2026 budget. Yeah, we're just getting Trump is lowering costs. We're just raising costs over here. It's a big screw you. I also saw this other chart that talked about the, what was it? Unaffordability on housing. It was in the World of Statistics page. World of Statistics. I think it was this one where it posted. Here it is. World's most. Look at my memory, guys. Can we get a subscribe for that? World's most unaffordable housing markets. Number 1 is Hong Kong. Then it's Sydney, Australia, San Jose, Vancouver, Canada, Los Angeles, Adelaide, Australia. It seems like it's all Australia, UK, Canada, and United States. The most unaffordable housing markets in the world. Honolulu, and then you got Toronto at number 13. It's not that bad. I know Vancouver is really bad in Canada, so that's number 4 on this top list. Let's go. And for some reason, I completely forgot. Hong Kong is up there as number 1. What is going on in Hong Kong? Sure, fair enough. Thank you. What else we got? Canada announces that it will no longer accept new immigration sponsorship applications for our parents and grandparents. Darn it. I was about to try to get my grandpa into Canada. I don't know if we really want to do that though. So I don't know when this is going to resume. But people are obviously saying, oh, brown tears. Haha, great news. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind it. Whatever. We'll let the people decide whatever they want. Okay. This has also happened. This is just Canada for you, by the way. We have a young teenager, not teenager, he's a little older than me, 2 years older than me, okay? Keanu Vafayan struggled with mental health, and he was taken up by Canada's MAID. If you don't know what MAID is, it's the Medical Assistance in Dying System, which is basically euthanasia. You can literally euthanize yourself, assisted suicide, if you have, what is this, depression, mental health? What even is mental health anymore? In 2026, are we still talking about that? His mother, Margaret, is speaking out on the below Facebook post. I'm not reading all that, but here it is. The Canadian system later allowed something very difficult to happen in Vancouver, where a doctor named Dr. Ellen Weeb, aka Dr. Death number 2, approved his death based on mental illness, dude. This should be done for, like, if you've got a terminal disease, sure. Like, I know there's this whole stigma around euthanasia that I don't really want to get into. Suicide bad, that's all I'm going to say. Try to stay along as much as you can and suffer through it. I don't even know if that's the right things to say, man. Sorry. You know what? Forget it. But, like, I mean, come on. Biblically, suicide is wrong. But, I don't know. It should all be done through natural causes as well. Like, I also don't believe you should be hooked up to a bunch of machines if you know damn well you're not going to recover. Sure, pull the plug, I guess, in that instance. But what do I know? I'm only 24 and I don't know anything about the world. Anyways, euthanasia was banned for mental illness until 2027. But despite that, this Dr. Death number 2 found a loophole in the system. And, well, now this young man is euthanized. There you go. It's not healthcare, it's a failure of ethics, accountability, and humanity. Like, that's what I was saying. If it's euthanasia for, like, actual terminal diseases, sure, maybe, go for it. I don't know. I've never been put in that situation, don't want to imagine myself in that situation. But for mental health, dude, come on, cheer up. And a funeral is held January 10. Okay. Alright, well, rest in peace, but come on. And also the fact that the government is funding all this. Lovely. We love it here. Okay. Depressing news aside, let's get into actual crypto news. So what to expect as well for next week is the crypto market structure bill. Note this in your calendars. It's happening January 15. It could change how crypto trades forever. Why? The Clarity Act is a market structure bill focused on one thing: stopping manipulation and bringing real transparency to crypto markets. What does it actually do? It bans wash trading and fake volume. It criminalizes spoofing and front running. It gives regulators real-time tools to monitor market abuse and requires proof of reserves and regular audits for US exchanges so that we don't have another FTX collapse. Why is the act important? Look at what happened October 10. That day, the crypto market saw $100 billion plus in real liquidations. Bitcoin and altcoins collapsed together. To this day, we don't know exactly how it started. We don't know which large entities blew up. There was no clear report, transparency, or accountability. And that's where the Clarity Act comes in, right? Since then, crypto market has behaved very weirdly. Almost every asset class outside crypto has made new highs, but crypto, every pump gets fully sold. Good news leads to dumps, and bad news leads to even more dumps, which we've all noticed, and is annoying. It's not real normal price action. This is exactly what the Clarity Act targets. If rules for this are in place, then large liquidations can't happen quietly. Market abuse becomes traceable, and exchanges can't hide fake volume or risk. You hear that, Binance? It also changes who participates. Right now, institutions mostly hold Bitcoin only. They avoid altcoins because the rules are unclear. If the Clarity Act passes, regulatory risk will... if the Clarity Act passes, regulatory risk will drop, and institutions will start allocating to altcoins as well, which could bring massive liquidity, which is what we need for an alt season, which is why January 15 matters. You hear that? Let's do it. What else is happening next week? First of all, today, we were supposed to get a decision on the Supreme Court tariff ruling, apparently, or an update on it at least. It seems like the US Supreme Court decides not to release a highly anticipated ruling on the legality of President Trump's tariffs today. So far, the odds of the tariffs being ruled as legal have surged to 31%. Otherwise, why would you delay it? If the answer is no, why delay it? Maybe the answer is yes. Tariffs are good. That's what I mean, by the way. Not to confuse you. So what's next? The Supreme Court is expected to release its ruling on the legality of President Trump's tariffs on January 14th. We're hoping that, yes, it would be legal. I'm hoping that at least. The rest of the market is hoping for it to be illegal so that we don't get that headline of Trump announces a random tariff on a random country on a random metal to randomly drop the price of Ethereum by a random percentage. So, in my opinion, though, I think tariffs are good. We're getting a lot of revenue. I think we were getting 200 billion so far in tariff revenue. The number changes every day. It's beautiful. I think it's going to be good overall. It brings the countries to the table and makes them do what Trump wants, which seems like Trump is doing the right stuff so far, in my opinion. At least a majority of the right stuff. Some of the stuff you can critique, I have also critiqued extensively, but yeah. Nonetheless, Hassett, who is likely going to be our next Fed chair, is currently the White House economic advisor. He says that there is a high confidence that the Supreme Court will side with Donald Trump on tariffs, and that alternative tools are available if the ruling goes against the administration. So, whether you like it or not, Trump is going to win on this whole tariff ruling. So, I like that. And that's it. President Trump shows no interest in pardoning Sam Bankman-Fried despite his lobbying. So, get that man out of the... This is supposed to be talked about in regards to the whole Clarity Act stuff. When I mentioned FTX, I just put it over here at the end because I'm slow. What else did we get? Solana has issued a... No, not Solana. The state of Wyoming, the Wyoming Stable Token Commission's FRNT, the first stablecoin issued by a US state, is now live on Solana. That's great. Another stablecoin. Yay. And my last bit of news. John Ternus has emerged as a leading internal candidate to succeed Tim Cook at Apple. We talked about Tim Cook stepping down, who is going to be replacing him. Seems like John Ternus, did I say Temus? Ternus is going to be the replacement. Is this guy good? I don't know anything about him. Early history. American business executive who served as Apple's senior vice president of hardware engineering since 2021, reporting to CEO Tim Cook. He's going to be replacing the guy. He's 51 years old. He graduated at University of Pennsylvania. Okay. This might be your next CEO of Apple. Just letting you know. What else do we got? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, really. That's all there is to it. Apple getting new CEO. That's all. Okay. That will end the stream for tonight. My positions are neutral. So I was going to say, if you want to copy it, now's the time, but I'm not going to advise you to copy my positions. They're wrong. They're going to lose. Okay, don't copy my positions. Welcome to, of course, Monero into the family. Give us a good drop. I don't know, 414 or above that, for 420 and below, maybe. Could be potentially a good entry, although I kind of doubt it. It seems like this has been a very long time of an uptrend since the 10th of December. And the fact that we approached this and used it as a support and Supertrend is not on the rise currently seems like this is just weakening to now become a downtrend, especially after we hit a very important resistance over here on December 20th. I know I'm doing technical analysis on the fly here, but this could be the start of a downtrend, potentially, right? If we see this kind of do a movement like that, you'll see Supertrend kind of flip over like this and follow this line until eventually, you know, price kind of does its thing and shoots back up. Maybe. Bunch of squiggly lines for you. Okay, guys, that's going to end the stream for tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. A lot of stuff to expect next week, so get prepared mentally. And I'll see you in the next one. Tomorrow, we'll be discussing whatever happens in the news. All right, guys, thanks so much. Thanks, Crypto Squid. Take care. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye.